Hello, Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to today's daily race. We have hybrid major glitches, my favorite mode, and I'm joined by Twin. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Malmo. I hope you had a good day.
I always have a good day when hybrid major glitches is being raced.
I am excited. I haven't been watching a lot of HMG recently, and I'm kind of missing it. I haven't played for months now, but yeah, I miss seeing some of these fun glitches.
I must ask you, Twin, as a familiar with Super Metroid person, what does 1244 mean in MM2's tile select screen?
I honestly have no idea. Maybe it's how many map tiles there are. I know he's big on that, but I don't know for sure.
That sounds like something he would do. He's also starting from Sanctuary, which is pretty unusual. Shows us some pendants. Got pendants at Eastern and Desert, and Crystal at Hera, I think. It was very quick.
I don't understand the quick checks. Like I apparently I'm still really new
Oh,
at
it's hard.
rando. It's so hard.
So MM2 does what I do is he menued strategically in a spot where he knew he was just going to be walking, so he could take his hand off of the keyboard, and I don't know. He plays on keyboard. It's weird. I don't know how that works, but anyway, High Roller is doing glitches already, and so is MM2. One of them is climbing, and one of them is swimming. High Ruler is swimming through land, which is something you do in Link to the Past. You also walk on water, which he'll be doing next.
Yeah, this glitch, if you haven't watched a lot of glitch categories, this is a great one to get into because you're going to see a lot of overworld glitches, which is what both of them just did. We're sending Link through cliffs and off the map spaces that you normally wouldn't be on, to send him places that he normally couldn't get to. And then, High Ruler's stuck.
High Ruler can actually get out of that. Doesn't necessarily know it, but now maybe he'll watch it back and learn that if you are too high and you exit, you can just hold your sword out and tap up. And because you can't re-enter that cave without facing up, you'll just get kicked out of it and you'll be free. But that's okay. He can get water walk from Mini Moldorm Cave later.
You must have mentored High Ruler during the mentor tournament because they got glove, and the first thing they are doing is going to the back of escape.
I did mentor High Ruler once. That is true. I have a rule where if you get the glove, you should do this on your next save and quit because it doesn't get faster.
So, Malmo, I mentioned the overworld glitches, but that's not what this mode is. What makes this hybrid major glitches?
Well, there used to be a mode called Major Glitches. It still exists, but nobody plays it anymore, as if anyone played it before. Because it requires a whole bunch of bunny clipping and stuff that's tedious and not very good for racing, but it also requires you to clip in the underworld, which is actually really fun to do if you take out all that other nonsense. So I took out all the nonsense and left in just the fun part, which is clipping between dungeons and all the ensuing logical changes that come with that. And that's what Hybrid Major Glitches is. It's now the default racing mode for glitch logic. And like the only other default mode is no logic. People will still play the other modes occasionally, but only if they come up in like mystery and other things. Or in combination with things like entrance, but HMG and no logic are the main modes to race now.
One nice thing about this mode is you do start with boots, because boots just make clipping that much easier. You don't have to do a bunch of like single frame clips like you were saying, with select buffers and stuff. So that's why I really like this mode. You get to zoom all over the place right from the start.
Starting with boots is the hot thing that actually started with overworld glitches in 2018 or earlier than that, I think. And then was later introduced into no glitches. People in no glitches realized, oh, we can actually just start with boots too. Like, it doesn't have to be glitches. So they made casual boots and some other modes. But they also made something called pseudo boots. And every once in a while, someone brings up, oh, why don't we use pseudo boots and glitches? And everyone just plugs their ears and goes la 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 la.
Pseudo boots aren't as fun.
They're weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the weird short bonk you get. It messes up some of your setups. Because sometimes we bonk to line up pixels and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
The ice lobby clip wouldn't work the same.
Yeah, who wants to memorize more pixels than you have to? No, just let me bonk and set it up.
Just give me the boots. If you don't want the boots, just don't start with boots. What happened to MMG's
How
bomb?
did that not work?
I don't know. Sometimes it happens. I think where your bomb just like teleports 255 pixels north when you throw it and it lands and explodes on the same frame. And that's probably what happened to him.
Okay, that sounded absolutely ridiculous, but it's probably true because this game does weird things like that. And
oh,
we
you can
actually
absolutely spooky Mire with that mechanic. It's real and can't hurt you.
Oh no, totally can't hurt you.
It can hurt you in Mini Moldorm Cave though.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually take advantage of. It's an Ancilla manipulation, isn't it?
Kind of. Spooky is it is, but not in the same way as like hook pushing. I like this iframe abuse that M2 is using to get out of the crab zone. Both of them having little struggles in this area. That's the consequence of just playing a mode where you're encouraged to go here really early. Is you end up going to places like this with just 4 hearts and no sword. Hyrule has a sword. I actually miss where it was. Back of Escape, maybe?
Oh, no. Where was it? Maybe it was Back of Escape. Oh, heck, I can't remember now.
Oh, Lost Woods. MM2 just went straight up the mountain from
That's right.
Uncle, so saved and quit out of whatever that was, and hasn't actually been to Woods yet. Probably pair it with Kakariko. Oh, nice flippers and waterfall. So minor glitches are also sometimes in logic. Fake flippers and water walk are one of them. Water walk in this case because you do need to be able to like walk to open those chests. Water walk requires either boots or moon pearl, but we always have boots, so it's always in logic to go there.
Plus, not to mention that doing these glitches is just fun to do. Why was that dash so slow?
Because Hyrule dashed while the bomb was in the air and just kept going, which is hilarious.
I learned something new about this game like every single day. It's crazy.
Has it never happened to you in like Hammer
No.
Jump Bridge? I guess you don't do that in NMG. I think MM2 is expecting to do the normal setup for this and forgot he actually has the flippers and just
That'll get
sat
everybody.
there in the water when he's expecting to bounce back into the wall. It's like, wait, what do I do now? Oh, I just swim there.
Yeah, that gets everybody at least once because, yeah, at this point in the game, you're tracking, you're trying to figure out where you're going to go because you've got so much to do. And when something doesn't work exactly the way you're expecting it to, it kind of throws you off for a second.
Sometimes we forget that you can do things the normal way. Like, instead of clipping through the wall to get to Hobo by splashing around, you can clip through the wall to get to Hobo by swimming. Perfectly normal way to get there. Oh yeah, I am not a fan of going into Hera with just bombs. It's so slow.
Oh, it's like painfully slow.
And it depletes all of your resources. Look at him just waiting in line. Like, oh, we got a key. That's pretty spicy, actually. You might be wondering, why are we excited about the Hera Big Key? It's not always there. It's not always there. Sometimes the Hera Big Key is actually in Mire, and you had to open the door with the Mire Big Key instead, because he clipped in from Mire. Which means the Hera Big Key can be placed upstairs. It can even be in the big chest.
Yeah, that's one of the things with HMG is sometimes, yeah, like you said, Hera is actually Mire locked, and Swamp can be Mire locked as well.
Because he Sorry, he dashed up the left side. He's either a coward or he's playing on CRT, which makes him a melee player, which is even worse.
No, he's a Super Metroid player. I don't know where that puts him in the rank somewhere, but you know. But yeah, so
Oof.
there's a couple of dungeon clips we'll probably likely see. One is we're gonna skip Kiki, and we're gonna go from a cave on Death Mountain straight into Palace of Darkness. And the other ones are the Mire to Hera, Hera to Swamp. There's not a whole lot of others. There are others that you can do, but they're not as common.
People will do the ice one because it's fast. Ice Palace Lobby. Ooh, the
that's
bow
right.
with Kingston.
That's a really good one.
MM2 picks up a bottle with a bee in it, which is actually a pretty good thing to have in Spiral Cave because he's not even going there. He recognizes Spiral Cave is no good when you have no weapon to defend yourself. He could probably get through Spiral Cave with the bee, but the bottom of the Spiral Cave is likely to kill him afterward.
Also, it's really nice to have that bottle before you do CAC, because then it just means you don't have to go back there later.
Notice how neither of them has been there yet.
No.
We like to skip CAC for a while.
Yeah, we've got a couple of CAC W's in here today.
But that's a different sword for MM2. Also, he's at 5 hearts now. He can probably survive Spiral Cave, but getting back up there is a little slow. I'm not sure he will. Okay, he will. He'll walk out. Honestly, it's just probably faster than trying to negotiate Spiral Cave with just 3 hearts.
So, I didn't notice... No, High Ruler did the... Is it the map wrap or the screen wrap to get into Eastern?
He did the, the clip you do from your Flute 5.
Yeah.
It does screen wrap you. It puts you on the top of the screen where Eastern is, even though it looks like you're still on the bottom. There's a lot of wraps like that in this game. Most of the time we'll see people get into Hera that way.
GT is another one.
Yeah, it's like the fastest way to get up the mountain. People will just do it by default and forget that sometimes you can get across at the hook shot instead.
Okay, so we've got Lamp in Spiral Cave, Mushroom in Eastern.
When I see a bow and a lamp in the seed, Sphere 1, I think that the seed is telling me to go to Pod. High Ruler is going to Eastern because it's a crystal and Pod dependent, which is perfectly understandable.
So Dark Rooms are still not in Logic, correct? No. Okay.
Yeah, they have the same logic as normal rando, where like some of them you can use the fire rod to light a torch, and those are in Logic, but you need something. You can't. They don't expect you to just do it in the dark. This is not Super Metroid, as much as MM2 wants it to be. We do have a glitch called Lava Dive, but we don't do it in this mode.
Yeah, that's a no logic one. And if you guys haven't seen No Logic, it's also a lot of fun. But anyway, we just earlier this year we had a HMG Mentors tournament. High Ruler was part of that. I don't think MM2 was. MM2's big.
MM2 goes back farther than that. MM2 was in the first glitch tournament. Well, the first HMG tournament. The first glitch tournament was Overall Glitches 2018, and nobody in this race room or in this commentary booth was around for that. I watched it, but I was very new to the game in general.
Yeah, I didn't even know Twitch existed back then, so... I mean, I've played this game vanilla since it came out, like... This is one of my favorites, but I didn't know about randomizers, I didn't know about Twitch, I didn't know anything about any of this back then.
MM2 loses the CAC-W race, getting to Kakariko first. It's like blinking first.
What a boring Pearl.
Yeah, very boring Moon Pearl. I was expecting Pod, because it's always in Pod for some reason. I'm sure something else will be there.
The last couple of seeds, which really put me off of HMD, they were like back of Skull Woods or something.
You were playing Cursed Seeds that people were sharing in the Cursed Seeds channel. You don't get to say that it was representative.
I did one from that, I think. I put some seeds in the cursed
You did
seed
put some
channel.
seeds in there. That's true. Somebody
Anyway.
has to.
Yeah, it's true. Somebody does. But so far, it's only been, what, Pearl in CAC? Which, in this mode, technically, you don't need Pearl to finish.
Yeah, you don't need it. I don't know. You don't need it, but like you want to get it if you care about winning the race because skipping it is slow. But this is a speed gaming daily, not a tournament race, so you know I wouldn't be surprised if like Tam, who's in this race, just never gets that pearl, never goes to Kakariko, and probably knows it's there and chooses not to for the memes. Bottle and Sick Kid. It's a whole bottle you can't have before going to Sick Kid. MM2 just leaves. Okay. Doesn't want to think about Pendant Desert, I guess.
Yeah, that's like overworld check.
Yeah, well, it's
Almost.
not just. It's like Pendant Desert. It sucks. I don't know.
Like, the thing is, though, is you can do so much in desert. You've got the first couple of checks in the actual desert area. Plus you have, or in the dungeon. Plus you have the desert ledge. Plus Grandpa. Plus you've got a glove, so you can do checkerboard. That's a lot of checks that are, I mean, okay, 2 of the checks in desert aren't very good, but
So unlucky.
that bomber is so mean.
He got the skull rock in the bush, too. Like if you can avoid that by slashing the grass, but then you have to deal with it anyway, so it's not like it matters. Mint 2 doesn't have enough bombs to do Hype Cave, so he's going to buy some.
Oh, and High Ruler's in CAC too. So High Ruler will get their pearl right there. And
So far, Pearl is the only thing in CAC worth mentioning, which means
really, as far as I
maybe
can
Tam,
tell, yeah.
maybe Tam doesn't get it, which would be kind of fun. Imagine, you know, we're not watching Tam, but you can imagine them just playing the game without Pearl and
Probably still winning.
yeah.
Tam likes to make a lot of take a lot of risks.
Tam won the H&G tournament, so like, yeah, it's
yeah. Not
but
just counting these two on
MM2 got
stream.
really far too. Like,
Yeah.
he was like top 3, I think.
Yeah, I'm like not discounting these two at all. Like,
Yeah, High Ruler has a like history of just beating me in every race we're in too. Like, I don't. That's just me personally, but like, I feel like I've never beat High Ruler in my life.
well, I just don't race very well, so I haven't beaten very many people in my life either.
Oh, you don't need to race. You race yourself in NMG. Oh, look at that.
Nice hammer.
Hammer on Stumpy. Putting off Pod pays off, I guess. I mean, going to Pod before Kakariko is pretty aggressive.
Oh, apparently we talked to Saha and Green Pendant Pod. So what's in Pod today?
Yeah, it's always the question, right?
Yeah.
It's a good point that, like, maybe they don't both know that Pod's a pendant. And also, you can easily find out Pod's a pendant by going to Pod before going to the Dark World. So, talking to Sasha is a little bit better in this mode if you know that the green pendant is in the Dark World.
Okay, this clip that High Ruler is doing has like 5 different setups, and it's different depending on if you're in the light world or the dark world. And
it's the worst for mentoring because like each mentor knows how to do it exactly one way, and it's always a different way than what the racer is doing. And if the racer is like having trouble, they're like, okay, instead of helping you, I'm just gonna have to teach you to you my way because I have no idea what you're actually doing.
Thankfully, most of the clips are fairly hook shot.
Yeah,
see, this is why you don't skip desert.
Desert's
it's like the front of Skull Woods. You don't skip the front of Skull Woods.
Okay, you can skip some of the front of Skull Woods.
Well, one and done.
Yeah, you can go in and you can get one item and leave. Oh, MM2 is doing... Okay, this is the mark of somebody who runs hundo. Like, this is hundo digging. Very grid-like, very efficient. Just digging for your life.
Sucker. Never run hundo. Oh, where is he go?
Well, MM2 runs like
Oh, he runs the glitched
preset.
hundo.
He runs preset hundo too, which
Okay,
is not
okay.
RNG, so it's actually good.
Gotcha. Okay, he was just clipping up to get to skip the MITS requirement to get into Village of Outcasts from the south.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this is classic south to north routing. So Hyrule are rewarded with that hook shot, which is required in this seed for everybody. Because Swamp Palace always requires a hook shot in H and G. You also really want a hook shot for Hera. Even if... Well,
Even if you
maybe
have
if
the big
it's
key.
dependent, but like, yeah, even if you have the big key, it's just so much faster.
Oh, don't dash right into the cactus.
Nobody knows how to do the screen if you don't run NMG. Like, I don't know how to do the screen. I'm always bunking into things.
Alright, so MM2 is doing...
Yeah.
He can completely clear this dungeon.
Yeah,
It's
just a dungeon he can do.
Do it.
Total no-brainer. Skullwoods is a little bit more of a brainer. He has to think about how much of it he wants to do when he gets there.
If he gets there. I don't think we've seen... Did we see a lumberjack check from anybody?
Ooh.
Red cane. Nice.
Cane. That's a good question. I think M2 just went straight up the mountain, but I didn't catch what he did after. Like when he went to Kakariko, he probably didn't do lumberjack.
So we have no idea what's on lumberjack, which is the only one that... It's like one of the only checks that we can't glitch to in this mode set.
Yeah, I still gotta kill the wizard if it's there. Okay, we did see it. Thanks to our tracker, Joss Gleeden, who is...
Thank goodness somebody's paying attention.
Actually, we're paying attention, yeah. So the tracker, the professional pay attentioner, versus the commentator who just pretends we're paying attention.
Okay, so without... Okay, desert's a pendant anyway.
This Hellway.
Oh.
Oh my god, this is brutal. MM2 might not survive, and so if he doesn't survive, he can't get to Skullwoods without going back into the Dark World, because it will get kicked out of the Dark World. I don't think he has...
portal though, didn't he? Oh wait, that doesn't have the... He doesn't have the wizard killed, so he'd be in fake Dark World.
Fake Dark World. There's no like fix for that in glitch modes because we actually like use it on purpose.
Yeah, you have to have the mirror to fix that.
We like to keep things vanilla unless we have a good reason not to. Oh, the heal. Let's go.
Clutch.
Hyrule hasn't gotten flippers yet either. So both of them are missing a piece of Swamp Palace. There's also a hidden piece of Swamp Palace that might not be obvious to the viewer, which is the Ether Medallion.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, so Twin, why do we care about the Ether Medallion for Swamp?
It might be required for Swamp for unlocking, because the key, the first chest in Swamp isn't guaranteed to be that small key for Swamp. So we might have to go from Mire to Hera, and then from Hera to Swamp in order to unlock Swamp. It's a really fun sequence to do. It really is. It may sound tedious, but it's really fun.
Yeah, the helps of the clips that you're doing aren't actually that hard. I mean, Hera to Swamp kind of, you have to sit down and learn that one. Mire to Hera is actually free. Like, it's like Specky clip free. It's
like
so
Ice
easy.
Palace lobby bomb jump free.
Yeah, that too.
Clip. Yeah, but
as if people know, like, if you know one, you know the other.
Yeah, if you know one, that you know the other. The Hera to Swamp, depending on which method you use. I learned the select buffering version, not the bomb setup version. And that, it was frustrating to learn but then again, I didn't have any experience with select buffering.
Yeah, it's hard to learn select buffer strats from scratch if you don't already select buffer. If you start playing glitch modes, eventually you'll just learn how to select buffer from doing that over and over again, and then everything that uses select buffer is like, oh, I guess I can just do that too. I guess I can mimic clip now. I guess I can, like dodge blind on one heart by select buffering. Just another thing you can do. I guess I can do those awful manual one-frame clips that are in logic for major glitches, but not for this. Because it's just select buffering. So you might see people doing some bunny clips just to save a little time, but they're not actually in logic.
Okay, so we're seeing Hyruler go through and get these mountain checks that MM2 already got. So they'll be getting their lamp and a bottle. And I think that was all that was up here. And another sword. That's what it was. Lamp, bottle, and another sword up here.
So, question about Hera, like, why don't we just use the Hera key to unlock Swamp? The answer is we do. We prefer to do that because it's faster, but the logic doesn't expect us to burn the Hera key because it thinks we need the Hera key for Hera. So, logically, we require Ether. We won't go looking for Ether inside Swamp once we know that the small key is not vanilla.
Which,
It's
this
one
is
in-
rolled on the new rule set where...
The first chest can be Ether now,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
There was a fix in place where the first chest of Swamp used to, like, the logic was ignoring it when it shouldn't ignore it. And now it can put anything it wants there if you have the mirror and the flippers. The moon pearl.
Okay,
So,
MM2
like-
is trying to swim clip here.
Yeah, he's trying to get out. This is like Hammer Peg's escape, but he doesn't have the hook shot, so he has to do it this way instead. It's kind of slow. I think usually when I do this, I would like do Hammer Pegs after Castle, but he's going the other direction, so he doesn't really have that option.
Couldn't he go and try to do like the pyramid and stuff? Like, couldn't he swim
Yeah,
the other way and then
that wouldn't be a bad
Mm.
idea.
pyramid and catfish and pyramid fairy?
I think that's a good play. I like your thinking. He's probably thinking he doesn't want to orphan the stuff that's up there. I think he should just leave. Like, you just orphan
This
it.
is
I don't know.
taking
Come back
way
later.
too long. Yeah.
This clip shouldn't be taking this long, but sometimes you just lose it, and for some reason you just can't do it.
There it goes. Okay.
But I actually really like your thinking. I think going to the pyramid is maybe a better route because it's more items than. Well, it's potentially more items. It's maybe the same actually, because he's gonna get bumper ledge here, and then he goes into skull and get up to 2 actually. But he can also go into skull and get 0.
Okay, so
Ooh.
book. Get that book.
Uh,
That's an easy clip to get that book. And that's
High
another
Roller's
2 checks.
Yeah, Hyrule's getting flippers now. That's good. So Hyrule has the complete out of logic swamp package, if he chooses to.
Yeah, we saw Hyruler clip down from Death Mountain down into the Zora area here.
We used to have to worry about like hammerless swamp too. That was a thing. Now we just Becky clip, but
Just Specky clip now. Like
sometimes every once in a while you'll get like a hook shotless hammer in swamp, and that's pretty
That one-
terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible because you have to go. You have to do your route from either Hera to Swamp or Meyer to Hera to Swamp, depending on where you're starting. Unlock everything. No, you have to drain the dam.
Oh! Speaking of swamp, we have Ether. We have
Ooh,
between the two runners, like Swamp Palace is in logic. Actually,
did
just for
MM2 not
Hyrule.
do Zora?
No, I don't think so.
Oh
That's
no.
kind of bad. I mean, Ether is actually required for Meyer. They don't really need it for Swamp, but they need it for Meyer for sure. Good thing is that MN2 will know not to look for it in Swamp.
Okay, so if you're Hyruler, where do you go?
Hyrule hasn't been to the Dark World yet. I would just go to the Dark World. But I think Hyrule is really beelining Swamp. And this is kind of neat, but I can see the logic here. Hyruler's thinking is that like Hyrule has everything he needs to like do Swamp, and it's a crystal.
Okay, so you'll see Hyrule just drained the swamp and then immediately saved and quit. So that saves the swamp, or that dam being drained in, what is it, RAM? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like in the save. It's in the save And the only thing that resets it is doing an overworld screen transition or using the flute or hard resetting the console. So a ruler can save and quit to the mountain and get up here without doing any screen transitions and get to the front of swamp with the water still flooded, which means that he doesn't need the mirror to do swamp.
And they're going to use the Hera key to unlock that front.
Yes.
door
This
of
is the
swamp,
part where it's out of logic. High Roller doesn't actually know that ether is required from Meyer, but has 2 medallions and probably assumes that it's in logic. MM2 has the other medallion. Just found it in Skullwoods. That could be required for ice.
It could, yeah. Does Hyrule have the big key for Hera?
Yes. So this
Okay.
is the new meta. At least I've been calling it that just because I like it. But he actually gets his key refunded, which is kind of neat. So he doesn't have to worry about if there's an item in Hera Basement, he gets that back. Oh,
that's
no.
really nice.
M2. That's not a
M2.
teleport. Oh, that's interesting.
Save and quit?
I think he's fine.
Okay, he just has to
He
go
can
back
get
around.
back over.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
It's
fine.
some of those transitions are so scary.
He's going to ice, by the way, in case it's not obvious. This is Ice Palace.
Oh, it's the flipper wrap.
Yeah.
This is not in logic.
This
at
is not in
all.
logic either. It's the logic was recently changed to remove flipper wrap, this thing that MM2 is doing, from the logic, so mitts are now logically required. But we also don't care about mitts. Like,
We like
what are-
if we can get mirror, like most people know the mirror wrap, and we'll just do that.
Oh, MM2. It's still not a teleport.
See, I don't even know the flipper wrap. I think I've done it once with somebody in my ear telling me exactly what to do, and
It's not hard if you have someone in your ear. It's really hard to remember all the steps. As he's showing, like, he probably hasn't done it in a long time because it's out of logic, and it's not really wise to do it out of logic because it's ice and it's slow. But he does have a good equipment for it. He has the Cane of Samaria, and he has, you know, he can kill Cold Stare. You can actually go into ice without fire in this mode. Lobby Clip skips the freeze orb, but then you get to Cold Stare and can't kill him. And if you're not careful, you can do all that without even like realizing that you're in ice without fire. Until
yeah,
you're,
there's
like,
only
in freeze orb room. Okay, no, MM2, stop teleporting there. There we go, there we go. It's just a clip through. I think he gets it now. It's coming back to him.
maybe he looked it up really quick,
Yeah, maybe.
which is allowed here.
Oh yeah,
You know,
we
you
encourage
can
it.
totally look up tutorials on clips and stuff if you need a refresher.
It's allowed in like no glitches rando. If you need like darkroom maps, like by all means, like preload those before you start racing if you care about the race, because even if you're good at dark rooms, it can still save time just to have something next to you to look at.
Don't remind me about dark rooms.
Dark rooms are so hard. I do all these crazy glitches, and dark rooms are still like the hardest part of the game for me.
They're horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, as long as you don't have anyone like in chat helping you or posting guides in your chat, like you have to do it all by yourself, but you're allowed to do it. You can't get help from another human in real time. But I guess I can help you in the past.
Yes, you and Muffins and a lot of other great people in our community have put together some amazing tutorials and information maps and so much good stuff out there to learn all of these glitches.
Yeah, the community has a pretty deep history of creating guides to get people into this mode. Like, I didn't learn from scratch, right? I learned from Baliyame and some other old hats who made their own guides. But those were mostly in video format and kind of hard to learn from. Hard to reference in the middle of a race. So we have formats now that are easier to reference in the middle of a race and also include glitches discovered after the year 2018.
Which, there have been some new glitches in even the last, how old is Specky Clip now? Like 6 months?
Specky Clip was discovered last summer, so yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
6 months is pretty spot on.
So yeah, the community's always out there looking for new things. Heck, in the last just 2-3 years, we've found the Diver Down that High Ruler here is doing. I believe Stairmaster, and which isn't in this category, I don't think.
We banned Stairmaster, but it's
right.
really good in No Logic.
No Logic.
We'll see it next year. There's going to be a No Logic tournament next summer.
Don't tempt me.
You can. It's okay. You can enjoy it in other ways. Like, I know you love doing comms, and I'll definitely be doing tons of like jank streams and speed gaming streams. There's a No Logic mentor tournament too, which is where the real temptation occurs. If you already play HMG, which it's not too late to learn now if you don't. Holy cow! Okay, so MM2 just found the fire rod in Ice Palace behind Freezors. So he actually did need Bombos, which is in Skullwoods. So in effect, this was a fire rod Skullwoods. You had to go into Skullwoods without fire rod. Total leap of faith. And you had to go all the way. You can't just do the first chest and leave. So that's huge for him.
That is pretty big.
High Ruler obviously isn't out of it. Hasn't even been there yet. Like, we don't know what decision High Ruler is going to make when he gets to Skullwoods.
That's the thing with these glitched modes, is there's so many different ways to do the same seed. Like, there's so many different routes. There's so many different ways to get into some of these dungeons. Like, what MM2 is doing isn't even in Logic yet. So, of course, what High Ruler is doing isn't necessarily in Logic either. But, anyway.
Yeah, MM2's a little bit in danger. I think something happened where he, like, walked into cold stare puffs because he was expecting to be able to, like, slash a sword and some input got eaten. That's what it looked like to me. He keeps it under control, though.
This is fine.
So High Ruler gets a crystal, MM2 gets a crystal. High Ruler is probably going to... Yeah, this looks like maybe like going to Hype Cave. That's an interesting spot to clip. It's not worse than the other, it's just interesting. I wasn't actually sure it was going to work until he did it. Yeah, it's true. I think everybody has been shown how bad cold stare can be in this last week.
Insanity that anybody actually did that right.
2 people have done it now.
Oh, that's right. Codeman got it, didn't he?
Yeah. I think I was watching Sleepy last night, and he was watching Codeman, and I found out through that. So Ether, tablet, just a heart. Book was on bumper ledge.
Yeah, and book is hard required for the tablets. That's the only thing that book is hard required for.
Right. We don't care about book for desert. As you can see, High Ruler already got the hook shot from desert. We don't care about glove for desert either, for that matter.
Now we could just clip in.
Yep.
We can't get out once we clip into the back, but we can get in there, no problem.
High Ruler is setting up something called River Funny Auto Walk thing.
What?
Or River Fought. Gets you around the hammer pegs. This is probably the second fastest way to get here. The fastest way is hammer dashing, so if you don't have the hammer, it's just the fastest way. If you have the flippers, you can still get across just by clipping into the water, but that's a little slower. Now this thing High Ruler is doing is also, it's out of Logic because it's swim clipping, which is newer than the Logic. Gets you into Pyramid Fairy. And lets you peek the pyramid item. Yeah, very nice.
Pyramid ledge is nothing. I actually looked this time. Usually when I'm doing the swim clip, I'm not looking.
MM2 is doing Hookshot Cave without the hookshot. Which is unfortunate because we know the hookshot's just sitting in Desert in Sphere 1. And also know that MM2 plays on keyboard on emulator and definitely won't be hovering that. So, taking advantage of having both rods in the cane. Another unlikely early dungeon, Turtle Rock. Can just do the whole thing.
Oh, half magic, hammer.
Yeah, this is a cozy. It's got blue mail. I didn't realize he had blue mail. This is pretty cozy.
Doing the mirrorless laser bridge clip there. nicely done.
Yeah, that clip's out of logic, but there's another clip that gets into the middle. So we don't care about medallions so much. Unless we're looking for the Meyer medallion and it's the same as the TR medallion, then we rack our minds over whether this is in logic or not. We learned that it usually isn't. Medallion is required for Turtle Rock by logic most of the time, except for 2 chests in the middle. Well, maybe just 1 chest in the middle. Like, Chain Chomps is just in logic all the time, and then everything else is usually medallion locked. And that's relevant because if you're looking for ether and you find something here, like the book, like, you can know whether or not you should follow it. High Roller's doing a route that I condone, which is swimming all the way across the mountain. Never mind, he's just going back up.
Okay, they're gonna check the Dark Death Mountain stuff?
Yeah,
Like
this is
and... okay.
Catfish Ascent, I guess, in the modern era. We used to do this, like, crazy clip that gets you straight to Hookshot Cave, but now you just swim up the mountain. It's easier. You can do it straight from Catfish instead of nowhere near Catfish, despite calling it Catfish DMA. High Roller lost his auto tracker, maybe?
Oh, that was
Hopefully things are okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that was, actually. I used the simulator, too. Unless it's not SNES 9X, and it's actually like BSNES. But...
okay,
so
we can see what's in the rest of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, let's see. It's just a blue rupee. Nothing. M2 is off the hook for now. He's on borrowed time though. He does need that hook shot at some point. But the fire rod is arguably a bigger advantage.
Didn't Zora have something too?
Hey, this is really good for High Ruler. When I was talking about medallions being in logic, like, I don't know if High Ruler cares about Bombos, but he knows that TR is probably locked by Bombos. So if there's anything in here, he won't follow it looking for Ice Palace access. But I think that doesn't matter as much because you just assume that, like, you can get into most of Ice and do most of it, so, like, it could still be in there.
I was gonna say I'm surprised nobody's gone into GT yet, but MM2 is missing the hook shot.
They're missing stuff.
Yeah. They're both missing pieces of that puzzle to make it really worth going in. And they've got other things that they can be doing, so...
Yeah, between them we have everything, but you don't want to go in there without Hammer, usually, because most of it's out of logic.
The bomb jumps to get into the Stalfos room on the left side is not in logic, correct?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Technically, you can like bonk to like one chest there, but that chest is locked by 4 small keys, so it's almost never in logic.
Key logic still escapes me.
Yeah,
I just do the things that I can
GT
do.
key logic is stupid because it's not actually intuitive. It's kind of hacked in, and it's different in Entrance Randomizer.
Okay, so High Ruler's gonna get, what was it in here? Bombos?
Yeah, this is good. High Ruler's actually full clearing this, and we'll get Bombos, which will enable him to get Fire Rod in Ice Palace. Skipping Skullwoods would be like the worst thing you can do in the seed.
Hopefully he goes down, or they, I'm sorry, I don't know.
You know, I don't know either. I've been saying he probably shouldn't.
Hopefully they go down to Thieves Town and get their Red Cane and Hammer.
Yeah, they'll go to Thieves Town. Like,
okay.
that's...
I'm like, wasn't Thieves Town?
Oh,
Hammer?
you know what? They don't have Hammer. Where was Hammer? Hammer was on Stumpy. Hammer was just going north to south, which is... It forces you to do Thieves Town without Hammer, but... Or not do it. But the cane was just in the front. I think it's fine going without the Hammer. Most people will do that. Okay, oh, there's the logic.
Yep.
So logically, you have to go in here without Fire Rod and get that glove. That's pretty good. This is why we sometimes sequence break things. He probably went to Ice because he didn't really have anything better to do. It's like, I can do this crappy double dip stuff in pendant dungeons, or I can just do Ice Palace and pretend the glove is in one of those places, and he was right. Oh, High Ruler's excited.
Yeah. We still
He
haven't
doesn't-
seen any pod.
No.
We haven't seen any pod, which is unusual for an HMG. Even
Pod
a
is-
pendant pod.
Oh, it's just sitting there too. It's like,
Yeah.
no, MM2 is a really good reason not to go to pod. He doesn't have the bow, which is on King's Tomb. MM2 has been routing very aggressively. Oh, MM2, you just got a fairy. Just got a fairy.
Uh-oh.
In that chest.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a really good point. Beer says we're in no mode. We are. It's true. We've seen.
Yeah.
We have all the items. We don't need
they
the
just
mirror.
need to go to the other places that the other people have been to.
Yeah, I think High Roller is closer to Go mode than MM2 is, by virtue of MM2 has pretty aggressively skipped some Sphere 1 locations, and unless he makes a dedicated effort to clean them up, he might not get to them for a while. His saving grace is that bow and hookshot do lock a lot of things, especially the hookshot.
Yeah, he's
That's-
gonna be funneled to those locations.
It's gonna keep him out of GT at least.
Yeah.
And the bow will probably keep him out of pod.
And just a reminder, we do still have to climb GT. We have to kill Agatu in order to get into Ganon. Right?
MM2 can also find another bow. Yeah, that's correct. MM2 can also find another bow. And if he finds another bow, then he can go to GT and not full clear it. Because he'll know that hookshot's not there. But he probably won't. He probably won't go there without a hookshot. I saw him practicing Moldorm bounce before the race started. And he looked like he was struggling a little. So it's probably not something he wants to just gun for if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, really, MM2, the only thing he can comfortably do is right side and the torch check in GT.
Yeah, he'd do that. What he would do, I think, is he'd go in and find the big key and leave. Because he's
Just
just
so
there
that
to
he's
cover
got
the
it.
first 4 chests that are in logic, and then get the big key, and then come back out with the hook shot at the end.
Okay, MM2, where are we going now? Is this pod?
I hate that it is pod, and wish that he was clipping on the other side. Oh, this isn't pod, this is GT. Okay, that's fine, I guess. It's not great, but... On the other side, he could have clipped and gotten the bow. That would have been better, but that's okay. Bow could be here too.
Yeah, Spike Cave isn't in logic yet because you don't have enough hearts or an invincibility item. But we know that there's nothing. Well,
If
I mean,
he's
there might be
he's
something
gonna
there.
full clear this because he's looking for bow, which is a shame. But maybe the big key is deep and it doesn't matter. But yeah, Spike Cave. I wonder why he didn't do that. He doesn't have an invincibility. That's right. Oh yeah, you can't just do that. Wow, he's like really YOLOing it. He has it looks like he has a setup. Wow, that's cool. Okay, so he has some kind of normalized setup where he diagonals out of the door. That's really fast if you can pull it off.
That's a flute that will never get activated.
Oh yeah, no. Unless you get really desperate and want to do Smith Chain. And even then, you probably still don't do it.
Unless you want potions. I mean, and even then.
That's for no logic. We activate flute in no logic because of the potion shop. Wow, he's actually
This
death
is a
warping on these.
slow death
That
warp.
is so slow. He just wanted the keys, I think. Didn't want to sequence break the hook shot for too long. Which I understand. However, going the other way is also sequence breaking the hook shot because of the logic. After Hope Room and Tile Room. Maybe he'll just leave.
That's a lot of keys.
Yeah, that is a lot. But It's 2 keys that are not hookshot locked. Well, you're not gonna do the one that can have hookshot and then 2. Wait.
Just because it's a boring pet.
Yeah, I know it's tile room, but like, that's the one chest in here that can be hookshot now. Oh, you know what's a place that we haven't seen yet? We haven't talked to our dear old uncle.
We haven't seen Uncle yet?
No.
Oh, poor Uncle. We haven't seen any of Hyrule Castle. We might not.
We saw the back of Escape, but that doesn't count.
No, that's... No. That's Overworld.
Hyruler, his name is Hyruler, will not be Hyruling today if he follows the critical path.
So, Dig Game was Ice Rod.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a piece of the puzzle, and then they'll pick up the hammer.
They should continue around for Stumpy and then check Meyer area, right? Hopefully.
They should just do Meyer because they have.
Oh, that's true. They could just do Meyer. Yeah, check Stumpy and then go do Meyer. We got this, Hyruler.
Yeah, that's weird. Normally you would do Meyer first. It's faster, but maybe they want more items before they do Meyer.
Maybe they're hoping for a sword?
Maybe.
Because Maz's Sword Vidi isn't that fun.
Yeah, they don't have they don't have the best equipment for Vidi. It's not. I wouldn't say this is dangerous. It's like red mail and lots of hearts, but it's gonna be kind of slow.
Yeah, you want either an invincibility item or silvers or tempered for Vidi. In my opinion.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know. I died of Vidi in an MG, so you know. Whatever.
Yeah, you don't have red mail in an MG though. It's so easy to just take 4 hearts of damage and lose rhythm. It's a little different in Rando. Not often you see Rod's Armos.
Oh no, you usually don't.
Oh yeah, so MM2, gosh. MM2 is so far from Go mode, despite finding the bow here. That's really good, but it's also really bad because now they have incentive to do like pod. Like they need to do Zora and King's Tomb. And
Desert.
Sorry, not King's Tomb, Desert, yeah.
Yeah.
King's Tomb they don't need anymore. He doesn't need because he just got the bow, but he's, I guess, gonna go to the hookshot side to get the big key and then leave. Because he's still looking for... I actually forgot about Ether for MM2
They haven't even done Tile Room yet. Like...
Oh, he hasn't done Tile Room.
Still have so much to do.
I don't think he knows... Like, Tile Room, there isn't some, like, key logic saying Tile Room has to be key. I think he has enough keys for that to be an item. But I think MM2 is also just a very, like, aggressive router. This is his style. Maybe it comes from playing Super Metroid, where you can skip things.
Yeah, I love watching different people and how they go about routing things. It's so interesting to me. Watching conservative routers versus really aggressive routers, and
it makes
just how they put their routes together.
It makes me want to see what MM2 could do with no logic. Because you can get very aggressive in no logic and get away with it, but you have to be willing to put up with a lot of nonsense.
Well, MM2 runs Super Metroid, so of course they're used to nonsense, right?
Exactly, yeah, that's why I want to see it.
We might be able to convince them.
Oh, the mirror. The mirror is more bait, I think, for MM2. But you know what? Oh.
There's the Tile Room from MM2. Hyrule found another sword, so we don't have to
really
worry about Vidi now.
So I was thinking is that the mirror is actually really potential to be really good and potential to be really bad for MM2. So the bad is that it could tempt MM2 into doing things like Hyrule Castle and the Escape. but also could be Catfish into Zora. It could be Mire into Desert afterward, and Go mode. So it might be MM2's best chance if he does some very specific routing.
Yeah. It could lead them way off track, or it could lead them right where they need to be. Just like you said. Oh, that's why they did tile room. It's big key. I'm like, okay. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, big chest could have been Ether for MM2. But...
Oh, see, that's why you check it before you do.
Yeah, this is why we just do tile room and glitches. Like, we're not memeing. This is actually safer to do tile room early, but it's also understandable to not want to do it at all.
Yeah, because now that big chest, whatever it is just orphaned.
What you don't want to do is you don't want to do it last. You want to do it first or never. Okay. Oh, M2's doing Eastern. That makes sense. Interesting that he's doing Eastern and not Pod. So he's still being very aggressive. Because if you wanted to be efficient and full clear, you'd go to Pod and then like do Eastern after. But Pod's dependent. He just doesn't want to do it at all.
Skipping those pendants.
It's good until hookshots in Desert, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's good until it isn't.
This
so
is
I
where
understand where they're coming from, though.
This is where activating Flute could be good for him, because he could go to like Desert via Flute 6 very quickly and clean that up. I'm having trouble imagining how he gets to Catfish in the seed or Zora, because he has already done the top of the mountain and won't have any reason to go back up there to pair with Catfish. Oh boy, we got the mushroom. I guess High Ruler had that, but now M2 has some incentive to keep going to places that aren't where he needs to go. Unless he just walks to Zora from Mushroom Turn-In, but I don't see that happening. Alright, High Ruler... a little bit of a... Oh, I'm High Ruler.
Oh, please. Just use your bow. You have 30 arrows.
They're good. We're good. Oh, Brahmin has the tech. You do Desert, and then you walk off the bottom of the screen, and it puts you at Zora. That's a pretty cool route.
Doesn't that have a hard lock potential?
I don't think so. I think when you do that one, as long as you don't like exit the Desert screen, or as long as you don't exit the Zora screen, you're fine. You're not gonna like slip up and hard lock if you know what you're doing.
Are we going to
Hype Cave?
Hype Cave? Yeah.
Yeah, High Ruler hasn't completed this circuit yet.
Okay.
Now this could be High Ruler has the opportunity to do ice after this, which could be go mode.
I can't remember. Oh, mitts were in TR. That's right.
Yeah, High Ruler is perfectly justified in not doing ice here because it's out of logic, and now he has all of GT that he can do, except for the right side. Oh, he's already been to Hype Cave. Oh, he started there. Wait. Oh, he did Hype Cave and then Pyramid and Wrapped.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the new route enabled by swim clipping. You could technically do it before, but now it's better because you can do Pyramid Fairy on the way. All spin speed's impossible on keyboard.
Okay, so MM2 is going to clip up here and go to mushroom.
You don't have to flip a wrap or double dip TR if you just do GT instead, but Hyruler's doing it. This is the best thing to do, really, is to just do it now and get your fire rod.
So this will put them in go mode, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you look at what Hyruler is missing, it's a bunch of fetch quests like the powder and invincibility items and stuff, and the flute, which we've already demonstrated we don't need for Meyer, and the mirror, which you already demonstrated we don't need for Swamp. So that's everything we need. In fact, Hyruler will get Fire Rod here, and the only dungeons left to complete are Turtle Rocks, Skull Woods, and GT. Okay, MM2 looks like he might be thinking about flute activation.
Yep.
It's a question what he'll do with that, but I think flute activation is pretty good when you have the mitts. It has a more potential to pay itself back. It's an interesting icebreaker setup. I've never seen that before.
MM2 didn't have that when they came in here, right?
He did. He had the cane. Because the cane was just in Thieves Town.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay, what is this? This is cleaning up Skull Woods. And maybe checking Ped? Ped can absolutely have the items that M2 is missing.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to check it.
Even Hera.
It's nothing. But
It's funny that Hera having the big key in the front means that Ether can be on Ped. When in any other layout where the big key's not available on Hera, he wouldn't have to worry about Ether on Ped.
well, while we're just backtracking and fighting Moth, if you guys haven't followed these two runners, they're excellent at what they do. So yeah, give them, and then follow Malmo as well. Malmo loves doing glitches, as well as art. She's amazing at art.
And follow Twin and Joss, who also play this video game in different ways. Oh, MM2. Okay, good.
Phew.
A lot of boss fight close calls from both runners. Hyruler has a pretty cozy cold stare equipment.
For sure. Yeah, this will be a lot better.
I don't want to call it a cozy fight yet, but
cozier equipment for sure.
Definitely better than what MM2 had. Yeah, you can just spam the fire rod here. It's easy. All right, head check. What is it? It's 10 arrows.
At this point,
Hyruler's using an MS. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, with MM2, what are you thinking, right now? What do you do?
Using the map? That must have been an accident.
Yeah.
So he's covering the overworld first, which is interesting. I think he's running out of checks that are good. Oh, except Pod. Pod is actually really good. Like, if I was MM2, I'd be thinking about Pod, but he's not, and that's good for him. I'm getting a guess that these, like, menus and maps are just a consequence of playing on keyboard. I always like to blame the keyboard, because it's weird and foreign to me to play this game on keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know if I could.
I tried playing some Metroid games on keyboard, and I found it difficult. But I was also playing with weird controls. Like, arrow keys for movement on very outdated emulators. So, also, Metroid games are just hard, no matter what you do.
It's true. They are.
Hyrule are doing their cleanup of Skull. Yep. Doesn't need to check pad. They're in go mode.
Yep,
they're not doing Scudgewoods, though.
That's okay. Scudgewoods is scary.
It is scary. I don't do Scudgewoods either. I don't do it because I don't know how. That's even more embarrassing. It's not even that I'm scared, I just don't know how.
MM2, you were right there.
Oh, MM2. MM2 is mirror and flute, it's okay. They'll just last location it later. So what could this be? Going into the world. I don't think he's actually been to Pyramid. This might be like Pyramid and Uncle and stuff.
Oh, it might be.
Oh, I hope it's not Swamp. Oh, he'll get locked out quickly. It was the compass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not Swamp.
Okay.
The thing is, like, you're missing both the hookshot and the Mire Medallion. Yeah, you could go into the first chest of Swamp, because, like, what if it's that kind of seed? But I think most people will wait to have, like, one or the other before doing it. This makes sense. It's Pyramid and Escape.
It's a lot of checks right here. They're maybe slow, but it's a lot of checks.
He messed up his camera. I hope he understands that. Yeah, he does. He knows the backup. You swim up first so you avoid that broken transition. If you pay attention to the screen, you can see that the transition is broken. There's like a cutoff at the path. If you touch that, you die in real life, so be careful.
I did that once. It was scary.
Yeah, I did that too. It's so hard to see that broken transition that everyone runs into it once.
Yeah, if you don't know what to look for. Yeah, it's totally easy to do. Okay, so if Hyruler doesn't open the front of Turtle Rock, it is faster to save and quit to the mountain and clip up.
It's faster to save and quit to the mountain and clip up even if Hyruler did open the front.
Okay.
It was timed to only be faster to open the front if you were coming out of Hookshot Cave. Like, literally, you find your go mode in Hookshot Cave and your next thing is GT, is the only scenario you should be doing that. Maybe it's different with Fast ROM, but I still think it's probably slower. The margin would have to be pretty slim for Fast ROM to make the difference. Hyruler does open the front. That's a thing I see people do. I don't know if it's good or not, but I would say that it's good if you have the mirror. And Hyrule doesn't have the mirror, so I'm skeptical of this. But you could also argue that if you don't have the mirror, you can't mirror wrap, so you have to do like a slower wrap instead, or you have to go through the middle, which is just as bad.
Yeah, I can see both ways. Maybe you're not familiar with the non-mirror wrap to Laser Bridge. And, going in the middle isn't ideal.
Casual 8-hour and 8-minute escape while the other player's in go mode. It's such a glitch mode thing to happen. Might find the other sword.
Yeah, we still haven't seen the 4th sword.
I also missed that MM2 actually got the King's Tomb bow and has silver arrows. I didn't know that. So this is some kind
I
of...
think that was when High Ruler was doing the flipper wrap.
Makes sense. I would have been watching that instead.
Just use your silver arrows. MM2. Okay, where's MM2 going? Back up.
Oh, the mountain. That's not good.
Where are we
Probably
going
pod.
here?
It's probably pod.
Oh, it's pod.
It's... Oh, it's pod.
What is
He
this?
buffers? Oh, interesting.
Oh.
He buffers the spin speed with the menu. I've never seen that. That must be some keyboard tech. Because that menu is exactly the same menu he did earlier when he was spinning. I thought it was an accident. But he's actually buffering it. It's fascinating.
Oh, High Ruler just did the front and is doing the mirrorless wrap to Bridge. Okay.
That can happen if you don't get enough keys in the front
Oh, yeah,
to
the
progress.
keys.
I'm not convinced that it was faster, but I'm also not, like, sure enough to say. So here's our first glimpse at Palace of Darkness. The thing I was very suspicious of at, like, the 10-minute mark. Turns out it was empty. Oh.
Which is kind of unusual for HMG.
It is very unusual. It's usually something here. This is Sphere 1, by the way. Like, everything up to... Well, okay, the first chest is Sphere 1. If it's a key, that puts more things in Sphere 1. And then if you find Bow and Lamp, the entire thing's in Logic, except for Helmosaur. Which is why I was suspicious.
And rightfully so. I mean, usually you find your Moon Pearl in here. What was that word? Your Moon Pearl in here. Or, you know, something other progression-wise. But, yeah, tonight there was just nothing.
Nice, try next. Yeah, the cape is here. Had to be somewhere. High Ruler is probably going to last location the GT Big Key. Because it's tile room. It's like, you know it's going to be frustrating. You go into GT and you get to Gomo GT in HMG. You know how rare that is, getting to Gomo GT. And then, of course, it's in tile room and the seed you get to do that.
It's like a kick in the teeth.
It really is.
It's so bad.
But I think High Ruler is doing really well in this race, so it's not like they're being kicked while they're down. Like, they might feel like, oh, somebody's going to come in here and full clear it and not last location this, but at the same time, if they're in there full clearing, they're not in a good position. That's true. The silvers are there. They're not going to save enough time to make up for just getting the big key.
Yeah.
High Ruler's best hope is to, like, just do tile room by accident because, like, oh, it's a glitch mode. I always do tile room and not think about it. Now, opening the GT door is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just so easy to clip there.
It's, you know, it's faster to clip until you soft lock the clip or something, then it's like twice as slow. Might as well just, you know, if you already opened the door, might as well just use it. Especially if you feel ahead. High Ruler Ruler's in a weird key situation. Might actually have to mirror out of, like, before random. If there's no key in Fire Snakes, High Ruler won't have enough keys to reach Random Room.
Did they not do Stalfos Room?
They
I thought
didn't
that had like
do...
4 keys.
Well, Hope Room had 2, and then there was one into the pot. So we saw 4 keys, but one of them was just the pot key. Doesn't have the mirror! Oh no. Yeah, you gotta eat the fairy. Wow, they have 2. Eat the fairy. Take some damage. I think it's faster to save and quit and clip to GT again, to be quite honest.
This is rough.
Yeah, this is rough. I really wasn't expecting to get caught out in this rare key layout.
I forgot they don't have mirror.
Yeah, you know what? It's because mirror's past this door. Like, that's just rough.
Right. Oh, that's another kick in the
That's
teeth.
rough. I know. You're gonna get the mirror after doing the right side. Maybe they'll just do tile room because they feel behind and actually save time. Come on, High Ruler, do it. You feel behind, right? You gotta do tile room to make it up.
Please, 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 please.
Do the gamble.
Do it.
Oh, we're doing it! Let's go! Let's go! Actually save time by doing rando rush and getting key locked.
This is gonna be such a feel-good moment. Like, oh my gosh, that actually saved me.
I expect to see some kind of reaction from High Ruler when they get the big key. Opening the door preemptively doesn't expect, maybe by accident, I'm not sure, but doesn't expect this to actually be anything. There it is, the reaction. Very good.
Alright, MM2, where are you going now?
So I understand why High Ruler didn't do Hope into Hope Left, because when you don't have the mirror, every route in GT is awkward. And you want to minimize the routes that do left, right as much as possible, so you want to commit to one side or the other. And High Ruler just got screwed out of keys because of the way the layout was. Yeah, what is this for High Ruler? Or, sorry for MM2. This might be Smith Chain?
But they're
Oh
going
no.
dark
Yeah, this
world.
might be Smith Chain. I mean, I just don't see a feasible path back to
They've
to
cleared
Zora.
one desert or pendant dungeon. I mean, yeah, it was green pendant, but
MM2 skip desert twice. Like, you don't skip desert twice and then go back as anything but your last location.
it's true. I guess that does make a lot of sense.
Why are we frog dooring?
No frog
Because-
door.
In here yet. He didn't check library and maze race. The heck? Did he do all this just so he could show us frog door?
Oh.
That's great. I actually forgot that his route didn't take him through South Kakariko.
Which means we'll see purple chest here. Maybe that will lead him to desert?
Maybe, but like, I don't know, desert is just flute to 6 and mirror. It's not really part of any route anymore.
Yeah.
You might make him think about it though.
This is why I always do desert with CAC.
Just do it.
Do it.
I only do what he did if I have the flute active and I can just flute back to 3 and continue. It's just so cruel that the thing he's missing that would get him back to desert is ether. Because he would do mire and then have to mirror. So, but he's missing that too.
Oh, yeah,
The thing that
that's
would get him
on
to
Dora, isn't it?
ether is the hookshot, which would take him to Hookshot Cave and Catfish, but hookshot's in desert, so he just has to like do one of them cold, like just do one of them cold, so that the other one can be good.
why are we going back to here? Where are we going, M2?
Is there a shovel? Was there a shovel at some
yes.
point? Yeah, maybe. We're so close to desert, though.
We're so close to desert. You
Come
have
on,
to go in at
M2.
this point, right? Like,
this is your chance.
This is the 3rd time you've been this close to desert.
Well, I think M2 is actually like really approaching last location. Like, there's only so many places he can go at this point. Like, he can go to first chest of swamp, and that's it. I don't know if there's anything left. Looks like he didn't do maze race, maybe. So maze race into desert. Meanwhile, High Ruler's picking up the last chest of the game. Yeah, this is... He wouldn't be dashing up here if he had already checked maze race. Why would he? He didn't have the mirror when he was here. What is that?
What did you do?
MM2! He got out!
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know you could get out.
I thought he was going to be like fluting or saving and quitting and just leaving desert again.
I thought he was going to flute to 6 from there. That's amazing. I've soft locked there before. I didn't know you could get out. But I'm pretty sure you can like dig yourself deeper and actually soft lock. Okay, there's the hook shot.
I bet he is not happy about that.
No, he's going to shot Dave. He's going to get a GT. And last location Zora. It's going to be great. It's not technically last location because he clearly left a second item in desert. That will be last location.
Oh yeah, this hook shot opens up so much for him. It's swamp. It's most of GT.
This is swamp. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's clearing here. Didn't get all the items yet. There's both items were just here, so Swamp Palace, full clear it. Do left side. Do all of it. Well, no, he won't. So here's the thing with Swamp. It's actually really good. Is like he'll unlock it and we'll go out the front. He'll open the first chest and it won't be the small key, and he'll know Ether's not here. So he's actually off the hook.
Oh yeah, because that's the last thing that he needs. Is Ether. So he'll just clear this. He'll just rush the back and just clear the crystal.
And that's second place for High Ruler at 123.29 behind Skelly. And M2 chooses to forfeit this one. Will not be joining for an interview. Too tired. GG and M2.
GG's to all of the runners. There was a lot of back and forth logically with this seed that could get gross.
There were definitely some traps. I'm actually surprised that like the big trap that I expected didn't affect either of them, which was the fire rod behind an item in Skullwoods. I was not expecting desert to be a trap, but Ether and Zora is definitely a location that can get a lot of people.
Yeah, it's easy to skip Zora, and it's so easy to skip some of those checks.
Yeah, so we won't get any interviews tonight from High Ruler or M2, but give them a follow, and maybe you can catch them in the next one. MM2 runs a lot of Super Metroid if you're into that, and Hyrule plays mostly Link to the Past.
Well, it's been fun, Malmo. I appreciate you asking me to help you on comms tonight. I haven't done it for a while, and I've missed it. And it was fun.
Always fun. I enjoy these. I wanted to race, but like I hadn't been on comms for a long time, and I wanted to make sure that people get to see hybrid major glitches on speed gaming when it gets blessed with a restream. So here we are. There are more racers in the race room. I'm actually going to put the race room in chat so you can watch the other runners if you want to, since there's no interview. Otherwise, that will be all for Speed Gaming 2 tonight. Be sure to follow the Speed Gaming schedule to see what else might be coming up on the Speed Gaming family of channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 6. Not just for Link to the Past, but for other games too. We are in League Finals for Link to the Past. Make sure that you don't miss those. Otherwise, we'll be signing out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.